Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sheba Sunday. Sorry it took a little hiatus. Not sorry, just, you know, I'm sure at least one of you was like, wait, isn't it Sunday? Where were you last weekend, sheeps? I was actually part of my high notes of the past fortnight. Um, Me and Billy, we went up to New York, Long Island, home of, I wouldn't say Mariah Carey, um, but we did not go for Mariah Carey, surprisingly. We went, we met up with some of the Breadlums crew, actually all of the Breadlums crew. Um, some of us flew in from LA and uh, Michigan, and me and Billy drove up, picked them up, surprised uh, one of the creators, and we had like a really fun bonding weekend up in New York around nature. Kind of a suburban person, so it was like low level nature, which is just the tickets. Hey, Sheba Sunday, welcome. Missed you guys. This is episode 13, so it's 13 going on 35. Did you see that movie, 13 going on 30? This is a good one, back in the day with Jennifer Garner. Classic. It's like a Freaky Friday. She goes to sleep at 13 and wakes up still in her 13-year-old mind, but she's in this 30-year-old body. And love it. Love that premise. Anyway, yeah. So Long Island was cool. Had a fine week at work. Started a new TV show live stream called Black Bunny Hole. Ooh, oh, what cute. And that's kind of like this, but more focused on like interesting people who are not just me. So, um, yeah. So did that on Friday, and I think it went really well. Um, but just have such high standards for myself. I was like, oh, it wasn't perfect exactly as I thought it was gonna be, but it's okay. It's gonna be so good. Each time I do it, it's gonna get better and better and feel more me. So anyway, really glad I had that experience. Last night, me and Billy got to have a very fun wife swap with our lovers, and uh, very fun. And at the when we were swapping back, uh, I realized I'd missed Billy's call, and we couldn't find him, like he wasn't answering his phone. So I was just like, shit. I was just like a little worried, as one does after like a night of like fun and everything going right. It just feels sometimes like, okay, right, something's wrong. But turned out fine. Billy was just taking a nap in his car in the parking lot, and like didn't have his phone, and we reconnected. It was fine. I'm glad, very grateful that I now have the experience of, if we're ever like separated and unable to communicate, which is rare for us, I can maybe have a little more trust in the universe that, like, he's probably just asleep, has phone dead or something, but he is a 40-year-old adult man raised in Brooklyn, New York in the 90s. He's like one of the most capable people I know, so chances are he's probably going to be freaking fine. He he said while the intro song for Shiva Sunday, that's the intro song, by the way. It's called Kindred, Soulful Hip Hop Neo Soul by First Official. Billy said this beat just feels good. It does. It feels like a Sunday morning at Sheba's house. Eee! So yeah, thank you for joining me and experiencing with me. I don't know. Yeah, so it's been a fun day. I'm in my walk of what's the opposite of shame? Pride. Walk of pride outfit is what I wore last night. We went to this like really cool hotel that had like um it was like a party going on in like in the lobby and in the on the ceiling. What is it called? The roof. It was dope. I was like, oh, look at us in DC being so hip, and it was fun. It was really cool. And then, yeah, me and Billy had a lovely, leisurely morning, made it back up here, and, you know, now I sit before you. It's holding court. Love it. Love it. Love that for all of us. Anyway, yeah, having a really, a good weekend. A good year so far. It's been interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so 13 going on 35. Do you guys remember where you were when you were 13? For me, I was born in November of 1987. So my 13th year was Y2K, the end of Y2K, the year 2000, 2021. Interesting time, remember? Remember when it was like the 1900s? That's so crazy. There had been a big scare that like, you know, when it transitioned from like 1900s to like 2000s, computers wouldn't be able to like adjust and like everything would crash. And like people thought that it might be like, you know, um, like planes would fall out of the sky, that like all of our banking systems would shut down, our communications. And so like some people were like, you know, Y2K preppers, you know, they were like, this is it. Let's like get our canned goods. Um, you know, kind of a mess. Oh man. Yeah. So by November 2000 of the year 2000, you know, the world was still there. Nothing had happened. I think a lot of the adults felt a little silly that they were, you know, worried. I was certainly glad the world didn't end because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna like die like before I have sex, like before I've really gotten to like live. Shit. So really glad. That was okay. And so like, yeah, I was in 8th grade going into 9th grade. So it was like, what a time of transition for like both the world and for the little baby sheeps, you know? Billy says, LOL, I remember thinking and being told that the world would end at Y2K. Yup. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like that the world knows like that we made up this like these like time things like 2000 years. That's it. That just seems random. I learned that like in the year 1000, people like in the year I guess 999, people were really afraid of like what would happen at like 1000. Like they were like, we don't know. People are just like we're like real afraid of the unknown, and like we catastrophize. Oh my gosh, like me this weekend when I like didn't hear from Billy for like 20 minutes. I was like, am I gonna be a widow? Oh my God. Am I gonna have to like rethink my like wicked ways or something? Am I doing something wrong? Oh shit. And is this the punishment? But like, look how quick I was to like catastrophize, where he was just like, asleep and, had like taken a nap, and, you know, we were just like calling him over and over again. And like, he was like, oh yeah, I'm fine. What's going on? Like, everything's fine. One of my affirmations, that I'll say in a second, but I'll just say it now, I guess. And that I was saying last night, I was like, you know, all the good things in my life are infinite, and everything I need is already within me, and I'm luck, and everything always works out for me. So I was like, I'm pretty sure Billy's gonna be fine. And I'm going to laugh about this. And we did. So, um, anyway, that and how people acted in the year 1000 and how they acted in the year 2000. Like, let's just like take a breath, everyone. Everything's fine, actually. We're good. We're good. We're safe. You know? Look at my fun coat. We're safe. Anyway, yeah, Y2K to 2001, 8th to ninth grade. Man, I was excited for the opportunity to like, you know, go to a new school and like start over. Like, I was going to like a lot of people in my class went to Bishop O'Connell, where like this guy, like Coach Wooten or something, I don't know, he's like famous in like the basketball world, like had to do with O'Connell. Anyway, O'Connell was kind of like the like sportier Catholic school in Northern Virginia, and I was gonna go to Bishop Ireton, which was like kind of the nerdier one. Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters and also from Nirvana went to my high school. So it was a pretty cool school. 111. All right. I'm loved. I'm safe. I'm powerful. I'm free. My timing is perfect. All the good things in my life are infinite. Everything I need is already within me. I'm luck. Everything always works out for me. Money chases me. Wealth chases me. I'm full of ease and grace and joy. Anywho. Yeah, so 13, 2000, 2001. Yeah, so I was from, I guess, okay, so November through May, I guess I was still 13 and in school. I was in 8th grade. I was like, you know, the oldest of the people in the middle school and elementary school, and I was just like, I'm cool, man. I'm awesome. I had like a great sense of style back then, even though like we went to a Catholic school, so I had like 2 outfits, you know, and I was pretty like sheltered, so they were like not what I would have picked if I didn't have, you know, people who were like in charge of my livelihood and necessities being like, you can't wear that. If you don't recall, I went through puberty at like 9, so by like 13 I was like, I had this body exactly, except I was like maybe a little shorter, and a child. And so I was just like, oh, I was seeing all these movies and things and TV and music, and I just saw how like you know, women and girls are like valued for like how beautiful and sexy and attractive they are. And I was like, I would like to do that. I would like to. I had bad acne back then. It's tough, man. I had real bad acne. And I was like, oh. I just felt very ugly. So, sucked. But I could still turn a look when I needed to. Our 8th grade graduation, I wore this like little purple 2-piece set skirt, set little collared knit sleeveless top that was also like lavender. It's cute. It was cute. 8th grade, I was also, you know, I played basketball. I went to, we were in this little Catholic school, Catholic elementary school, St. Thomas More, which is in one of the most, you know, what is it, like strict, like kind of Orthodox Catholic diocese in the country. So that was interesting for like me. I was like, what is this? But yeah, in 2000, by that time, this movie Superstar had come out. I don't know if you guys remember that. Let's see. Superstar. Oh, wow, really good spelling, Sheeps. 1999 film. Watch video. Yeah, man. Superstar here. Oh, Billy taught me I zoom in. If I want you guys to see it a little better. Great film, classic. Molly Shannon, Will Ferrell, Elaine Hendricks, who I just made a reference to recently. She was also in The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. Remember that? Um, yeah, what a great freaking flick. Oh, love Molly Shannon. Anyway, that movie came out and I saw it. I like didn't watch a lot of movies, so I was like, look at me able to watch this one about that's like funny that other people have seen that like is about a Catholic schoolgirl who's like weird and horny. Woo! I was like, ugh. Anyway, when we were like choosing names for our basketball team in 8th grade, I suggested we be the Superstars. And so our like team, like, all right, break. It was like we would do the thing, Superstar. And like looking back, our coach probably was like, what? Okay. But also, now I'm looking back, I'm like, ugh, all of my like coaches from middle school through high school for track and basketball, certainly basketball though, we're all men. Just I think how we teach everyone that like men are the coaches and the bosses and the people who know the authority figure, and women are the ones that learn from men. But we like don't ever like we rarely have it the opposite way. And I think a lot of boys grow into men who like kind of resent when a woman is like in charge of him because it's been like trained that like, wait, what? Feels too much like my mom. So that's not right. Like, anyway, I digress. But yeah, we were the Superstars, St. Thomas More Superstars. And I was like, really good for my school and for our like kind of division in 8th grade. But I feel like in the like from 8th grade to high school, I went to the same school as my sister had gone before me 2 years before, so she was going to be a junior when I was a freshman. And it was kind of great because like Freddie's awesome. She was on the basketball team. Like everyone just liked her. She's like me except like sportier and like probably. I mean, I think of her as more like not as pressed to like fit into society's expectations of what she has to like look like or sound like or do. And so back then I was like, damn, that's awesome. I'm not like that. I care what everyone thinks. I care that like I'm ugly and like weird and like not great at anything. I'm not like the valedictorian. I'm not like, the superstar athlete, despite the freaking names. And so I was just like, I felt very like normal. And I wasn't like, surprisingly, I wasn't like really into, like theater and like performing and things. I was like in the choir, but like I was self-conscious about my voice. I also felt so interesting, like going to school with like a lot of white people, and being one of the few black people. I felt a lot of pressure to be really good at basketball and to be really good at singing. And like I was just okay, I guess, at both of those things. but I felt like I was like, and this might all be stuff that I was just projecting on myself. I was internalizing, these things and judging myself against like Whitney Houston and like, the Spice Girls and shit. So, anywho, just going through a lot of stuff. But I was excited, like, for this transition to high school where I was like, okay, this is hopefully where I'm going to shine. And like, I dreamed of being like homecoming queen and like all American and just like popular and loved and have a boyfriend and, just be like someone that all the boys wanted, all the best boys wanted and things. And, so I was like, okay, going to this new school where not many people from my elementary school are going. I have my sister here already, so I kind of knew sort of some people from like going to her basketball games and stuff. My mom's a big basketball aficionado, and she was the first woman to officiate a men's Division I basketball game. And growing up, we always went to. She would like evaluate the refs at games at GW and Navy and American, and so we always got to like. She would sit at like the media table, and like blah blah blah, and we would always get like seats, great seats. So anyway, talking about that because so we were really into basketball, and so I would go to those, and so I knew some people, and yeah, I was like, was it homecoming? I don't know. I was like when we went to when I started going to high school, I was 13 and I was just very like self-conscious and afraid, but also aware that I could kind of make up my story. So I like kind of the first chance I get, I like let people know that like I'd had sex before, over the summer. I loved the idea of like having a childhood sweetheart. I think Love and Basketball had come out. Let's see, when did that come out? Let's see. Love and Basketball, a 2000 film. Man. Oh, another thing, like our family was kind of like, my mom was very hip and up to date on technology. Like we had a car phone before, like, right before cell phones were really a thing. You could have a car phone and it was like in the, between the drivers and the passenger seat. And like, I don't even know who my mom would call. I guess probably like work to like let her know, when she's coming in and things, but very fancy. Like we had, a DVD player in our car, like one of the original like ones that had a little DVD player. So one of the things we watched a lot, Love and Basketball, saw that a bunch of times. And it made me feel like, I was like, I don't have any boys who I grew up next door neighbors with, who's my like best friend, who's gonna like, be with me through high school and college and get to know, like, I was like, I don't have any of that. Like, just, my family lived in Maryland, whereas my middle school and high school was in Virginia. And we had like one car. And so like, I just felt very like, I want to break free. But, yeah. So anyway, Love and Basketball was a thing. Here, let's watch video. Love and Basketball was a big one. I loved that soundtrack. Thought it was a great thing and all. What was Gabrielle Union in it? Shawnee? I don't remember that. Love and Basketball, another one that I loved that we watched a lot on the old car DVD player. Mulan, another movie that definitely, helped shape a lot of my understandings of myself and the world and what like women have had to do throughout history to kind of like be like, I'm so powerful. I have so much useful assistance to give. Like, and just because I'm in this woman's body, you think I can't? Do you want China to be taken over by the Huns? Because that's how you get China taken over by the Huns. Not listening to the women. But great soundtrack. I would say one of Disney's best soundtracks. Um, Reflections, little Christina Aguilera song was in it. I remember in the DVD version they had extras, and it was a Christina Aguilera video of her doing Reflections with this like bright blue eyeshadow and like cherry red lips, and I was like, she's beautiful. That's perfect. So I got a lot of, a lot of my style has been shaped from like my tween and early teen years. I was just like, man, I'm trying to be a hottie. I think when did America's Next Top Model start coming out? America's ANTM. ANTM. Oh my god, cannot type. Okay, original network was 2003, 2006. All right, well, never mind. Let me see what songs were current then. Songs 2000 to 2001. Let's see what we got. Oh man. Let's make this a little closer. Zoom. There you go. Man, what a lineup. Maria. When the song Wild Thoughts came out more recently, which is like 10 years ago now probably, which is insane. I was like, it's trash. It is no Maria. I thought that was so beautiful. I love whoever's singing. Who like, why don't we know who's like singing that? Oh, I guess the product, G&B. Huh. An American R&B duo. Wow. They were associated with Wyclef Jean's The Refugee Camp. Huh. I did not know that. Love that. Because on the radio, it always just said like, Santana is the person. Anyway, Maria was great. I want to know what does he want. Love that. Destiny's Child, Say My Name. That was like one of the first CDs I got was Destiny's Child. Loved all of it. Loved how it was done. Just really great album. Really great album. Say My Name, Bills, Writings on the Wall. Just all of it's so good. I Knew I Loved You. So I know kind of all these songs. I went to school with a lot of white people. So that Faith Hill, I can feel you breathe. You're laughing over me. Faith Hill's single Breathe was the first country music recording to be ranked #1 since Johnny Horton's The Battle in New Orleans. I know that one. In 1814, they took a little trip along with Colonel Jackson down the mighty Mississippi. We took a little bacon and we took a little beans and we fought the bloody British in the town of New Orleans. Anyway, that's Johnny Horton's The Battle of New Orleans from 1959. I guess side note, like when we were in like the car being driven back and forth from, our home in Maryland to school in Virginia, like our mom would drive. Our mom did all the driving. My father drove. I saw him drive like once, and it was when my mom was like away for a basketball game. And he's supposed to take us to work, and he like to school, and he like got lost, and like we were late and stuff. It was just like weaponized incompetence. But anyway, another thing, my dad was really into music, and he would burn these cassette tapes, like mixed cassette tapes of like all these oldies music. Anyway, Johnny Horton's The Battle of New Orleans is one of them. Couple Johnny Horton numbers were on it. But anyway, good for Faith Hill. Good for Faith Hill. Santana, number 2 and number 3 on the top 100s of 2000. Okay, Matchbox 20, great thing. Oh, Tony Braxton, He Wasn't Man Enough for Me. Can you imagine 13-year-old Sheba, though? I was just like, had never had a boyfriend, of course, had like not kissed anyone, really wanting to do all of those things, but you know, but yeah, I knew like, he wasn't man enough for me. Yeah. I was like, I knew to have high standards, but I also knew that like, I was super excited I was like, any dude. And I was like, please, come on, take me, please. Okay, Try Again. I loved Aaliyah. When I was in 5th grade, I had done, my outfit that I had was like this little black crop top and like really baggy jeans and boxers. And like, I had like one outfit. So like after school, I would like take off my uniform. You could wear whatever you wanted after school. So I like would take it and I would just like change into that. And I just felt like so cool. Anyway, I did a song and dance in 5th grade to Are You That Somebody? That's really good. If I do say so myself. I sang and danced and like my 2 friends like danced in the background. Yeah, anyway. Jumpin', another great Destiny's Child jam. The Thong Song, Cisco. He's from Baltimore, by the way. Yeah, just so many things that got me like being like, okay. So like guys like thongs, got it. Oh, Janet Jackson was big. Doesn't really matter. Oh, I love that one. I love that whole album. That whole era was like excellent. What a Girl Wants, great one. Oh man. Bye Bye Bye. Back at One. So good. Macy Gray, I Try, excellent. Anyone, like, if you can, like, remember a song from 2000 and 2001 that you loved, like, drop it. Oh, Hot Boys, remember that one? I love that one. I love listening to songs like this now. It just, like, takes me back and, like, feels so good to be able to, like, really enjoy it and, like, listen to these songs, because I feel like back in the day, I, like, was really sheltered. So whenever I could hear these songs and things, I was trying to like memorize it, because I was like, I know I'm not going to be able to like have as much time as other kids to like figure out all this cool stuff. So I was just like voracious about like pop music and what other people were listening to. Come On Over Baby. Oh, so good. All I Want Is You. It's Christina Aguilera jam. I Turn to You. That whole Christina Aguilera song. Whitney Houston, My Love Is Your Love. What a beautiful one. I love that one. So a lot of the stuff from like back then like really shaped my ideas and understandings of like love and relationships and myself and who I could be one day. So yeah, let's see. What did I write? Yeah, this was kind of before cell phones. We had a home computer, and like my mom had a computer at her work. But you know, I think this was, I'm trying to remember. I would like back then I would like sneak into there was a room where I knew there was a trunk full of what I now realized was what I then realized was porn magazines, my dad's porn magazines. And I would like, you know, go in and like take out a couple magazines and I would like hide them under my bed. And then when my sister would fall asleep, she fell asleep so quickly, I would like get on the floor and like masturbate. Man. So 13-year-old Sheba was super horny, was super trying to like, you know, I wanted to be just an adult. I was like, I felt so like, weird and, you know, restricted. And like, I feel like I talk kind of the same as I do now. and like big words and all. I'm just very curious. I like to like learn things, and it was just like a strange time, you know? Okay, so yeah, great songs. Big Pimpin'. Oh man, Where the Party At? Shake Your Ass by Mystical. It was so great because I was like, oh my gosh, I've got an ass. I've got boobs. I was so glad when I went through puberty because, like, you know, girls, like, like back then it was like you, you could either go through puberty very early, like be the first ones or the last ones. And I realized it was better to be the first one, you know. And I was kind of one of the first ones, so it was great. And I was like really excited to have like this great body, and I was so upset that like, you know, adults wouldn't let me like dress how I saw people in videos and stuff. The people who were like the boys, the men were like wanting to marry and date. I was like, come on, I got all the right weaponry. I'm ready to go. I like think I'm built for this. But it was not to be. It's not to be. But since I had told everyone that I was a virgin, that I was not a virgin, that I'd had sex, I felt very like, oh, that's not true, but oh, that's okay. Rather than come clean, let me just align my actions with my words. And like, that's how I've ended up doing kind of a lot of things in my life. I'll like say a thing and then I'm like, oh, damn, is that really true? Let me make it true. And so I was like really excited in high school. I was like, I'm going to do it. I don't know when it is, but like, I'm going to do it. And I was like very confident in the beginnings. I was like, I'm beautiful. I thought I was really cute. I had like a great little hairstyle going on, like couple twists, and then like it was like my hair was permed, and like I had like twists in the front, and then like it was curly in the back, little bob. It was so cute, so cute. But nay, it was not to be. Actually, what did happen? I went to high school. I became I ran for class president of my freshman class, won. And it was funny, like after like they called all the people who ran for office into like a special meeting to tell them the results, and they were like, don't tell, you know, but Sheba, you were voted class president. And I was like, and I recognized that then. I was like, well, they don't, you know anything about me. We've been in school for like 2 months, so this is just a popularity contest. So like they like me. They like me. Oh shit. I'm doing it. And so like as we're walking back to class, like, you know, I was so excited, you know. And so I told my friend, like they were like, how'd it go? And I was like, I won. And one of the teachers who was like involved in student government heard me, and she was like, you weren't supposed to tell. I was like, okay, well, you know, spoiler alert, this is probably going to be how a lot of my regime is going to be. I understand what we say, but come on, I'm not going to like tell my friends that I won. I'm really excited about it. I'm 13. Come on. I just won a popularity contest. I'm happy. Anyway, you know what also happened? I'm just realizing during my 13th year, September of 2001, 9/11 happened. I'm pretty sure. And I was actually in freshman year. We were in English class, and you know, usually there's no TVs on, but like the teacher had the TV on, and we were like trying to figure out what was going on, but we heard like a plane crashed in the World Trade Center, which I hadn't heard of the World Trade Center before, so it didn't really like mean that much to me. And then they said a plane had crashed into the Pentagon, and so I went to high school in Northern Virginia, so which was like 10 miles from the Pentagon. So we actually heard it. We heard like a plane much lower than it normally is, and there was a bunch of like a boom, bunch of chaos after that. And like I actually, when we saw the reports that a plane had ran into the Pentagon, they were like, haha, they blew up Congress. So I, trying to be cool and funny, always been a class clown, when we learned the plane went into the Pentagon, I made a, in retrospect, very insensitive joke about Mars Attack and how they like blew up politicians. I was like, and so actually, because the Pentagon was so close, they, closed school early. And this was kind of before cell phones were really in like super wide use among kids. So like, my dad was in DC, and we couldn't get in touch with him. And my mom was in another part of Northern Virginia. And so like we went home with one of our friends, and it was just a very like, what's going on? Like, what is all this stuff? Oh my gosh. Crazy. You know what also happened in 2001, my freshman year? The DC sniper. There was actually a lot of crazy shit going on in that, Y2K, 9/11, DC sniper. I was like, what in the hell? What in the hell is going on? Anyway, so that was interesting. That was an interesting time. It was interesting to like be kind of coming of age, and I was like, oh. And I had heard, on the news, this guy, I thought it was Ben Laden. And I was like, oh man, who's that guy? It's my first introduction to kind of other countries. And just, yeah, really interesting kind of thing. Okay, listen, let's see. Let's go to like crystal ball and talk about 13-year-old Sheba's dreams for the future. Back in 2001, what was she envisioning for herself? I was envisioning getting dick down. I tell you what, I was like so ready. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be so good at this. I tried to like prepare myself. I heard that like sometimes you bleed the first time you have sex. So I was like, all right, let me like, if I'm gonna make my story consistent, that I've already had sex, I'm gonna have to kind of make sure that I don't bleed. So I would try to like use like a Gatorade bottle to like pop my hymen and things. Look, I'm not a huge slut for pain. Certainly back then I was like, oh, I don't know if this is like right, but like when it started to feel uncomfortable, I stopped and I was like, that's got to be good. That's got to be good. Turned out it wasn't, but this is just to say the spirit and body was willing. I was really, I'm all about go hard or go home. And so I was just like, come on. So anyway, Sheba's dreams for the future. I remember when people would be like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? And like, I wanted to be a pop star. I went like, and a pop star, but I was also like self-conscious because I know that like back then, certainly like people thought of that as like, Britney Spears and all of them, they like thought they were ditzy and stupid and like bad and immoral. But I was like, I don't know, I want to be famous and like I want people to like love me and think I'm beautiful and interesting. And so I was like, oh, I'll be in the WNBA. I'll be a basketball player, even though I wasn't that good at basketball. And like, I don't think I knew kind of, I was like, I don't think like that's probably going to be it. I'm very small. I'm very small. And like, I had heard that girls, they don't grow that much taller after they hit puberty. And I was like, oh, let me be an exception, please. I'm 5 feet tall. I would like to grow a little bit taller because I know models, you got to be like 5'8". And so I was like, I want to be like a model. I want to be like a video vixen. I want to be a basketball player. I wanted to be like a performer of some type. But Yeah, so I was hoping that. I was hoping I would be beautiful and sexy and that everyone would love me. You know, I really wanted that. And yeah, what else did I want? Hmm. I was just trying to figure it out. Did I play an instrument back then? Oh, I saw that like Alicia Keys um, had just come out. Fallen came out, I think, in 2001, and um, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. But like her hair was like, I was like, I did not have hair like that. I really wanted that. I didn't know how to play the piano. Like, I was like, shit, I'm just a little too untalented, a little too unpretty. Remember that TLC song that came out also around the same-ish time? Um, I was just like, God damn it. Yeah, anywho. Um, so what instrument did I play? I played the flute actually, my freshman year of high school. Like 5th grade through like freshman year, I played the flute. And then I think my sophomore year, I started playing the bass clarinet. I wanted something like, I thought the flute was too girly. If I'm honest, I was like, I had internalized a message that like girl things were not good, were like silly and frivolous, and like not as powerful or important as like deeper instruments, as like the trumpet or the drums or the bass clarinet. So anyway, um, so yeah, I was in band. I played basketball. I was president of the freshman class. Um, yeah, no boyfriend though. Oh, what does Billy say? Billy says he played the piano, flute thing. A keytar? Is that what that's called? That's what I call it. A keytar, where you blow into it and like, let's see what that's called. Keytar. Oops, I did it again. Am I right? Step in the next. Sort of blow into. Keytar you blow into. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's called a melodica. Hold on. A melodica is. It features a musical keyboard on top and is played by blowing air through a mouthpiece that fits into a hole in the side of the instrument. Billy, you played a melodica? What the hell? Brooklyn is a strange place. The melodica and the recorder. Wow, really? They were like interesting. I remember a recorder. It's an instrument. It technically, absolutely. I love that. I like the idea of trying to like introduce music to children and being like, hey, here, take it. You kind of can't mess it up. Um, so cool. Love that. When did American Pie come out? Ooh, boop, boop. American Pie film series. Oh, oh yeah. So American Pie had come out in 1999. And I had my parents didn't let me go to a lot of sleepovers either. So one of one of the girls on my basketball team had like a basketball sleepover when I was in 8th grade, and we watched American Pie, and like I was like, is this what high school is like? Oh my god, oh my god, and yeah, I think I really um, identified with was it Natasha Lyonne? Was she the one who got with like Seth Green at the end? Am I thinking of the right movie? Or is that Can't Hardly Wait? Man, mess. What a mess, sheeps. But American Pie, I was like, oh my gosh. I remember like, you know, that was like one of the first ones that I became aware of that all the parents were like, oh my God, it's like disgusting. So I, of course, wanted to freaking hear it. Wanted to watch it. And I was like, oh my God, he's having sex with a pie. Oh my God, the band girl, like they have sex at band camp? What? So then I get to high school and Can't Hardly Wait. It's also a great one. That one, I got a lot of my ideas of high school and who I should try to be to fit in from movies like these and stuff. But anyway, American Pie. Oh, yeah. So, you know, I mean, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, there's a part where, like, this really nerdy girl, Allison Hannigan, she's, like, always talking about band camp. She's like, one time at band camp, she, like, I think she, like, fucked a flute. I'm pretty sure. And I was like, why didn't I ever think of that, first of all? Clever. And also, when my freshman year, I was in the band, and we had a band. It wasn't band camp per se, because it was only like 3 days, and we would like go to, I think, South Carolina and do this like band competition. And I was like, is this my chance? Oh my God. But you know, I wanted to give it the old college try. Oh man, my outfit back then was this like, I wish I had one. It was this, okay, blue and white striped, like, collared cotton short sleeve shirt that was like tight, tucked into, blue, like tight jeans, dark blue tight jeans, and those like white Reebok Classics. That was like my outfit for freshman year. And like me and my friend Jamie, we would like dress the same. We would like wear those, and I was just so fucking fly. I thought it was so fly and so hot. And we went to I think so we went to this band thing. Jamie also played the flute with me, and like, you know, it was one of my first times kind of being away from my parents and like being on my own and being able to kind of like do what I wanted in a Myrtle Beach or whatever, South Carolina. And so we like, the first thing I do is like we go to the, you know, the drugstore or whatever, and I see you're able to buy condoms. And I was like, well, I hear you're supposed to use condoms, so let's get a condom. And so we got condoms, but we're also like, you know, 13, and we really don't know anything about sex, and the internet was not like it was then, so it was all kind of like word of mouth stuff that we overheard and kind of pieced together and stuff. And so like I knew like condoms were involved in sex, so I was like, these are sexy. And I knew that, like, you know, I was like, I wanted guys to know that like I have had sex and I'm interested in having sex. And there's this one black guy in the band who is a senior, played like the drums or something. And when we were at band camp, we'll call it, we went to mini golfing. You know, it was Myrtle Beach. And like when we got back to the hotel room, we like had our box of condoms. The black guy who's a senior was like in the hotel room like above us, and we got like a condom, like opened it up. We were at a Catholic school, so we didn't have sex ed really. So I didn't really know how to use a condom. But I was like, I put like a golf ball in it, and I like threw it up to his room, to this guy's balcony. And I don't know what I said, but I like, you know, he was gonna meet me in the stairwell, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do it. And so we like meet, and he's so why'd you, throw that condom out? I was like in the moment, I was like, I don't know. It seemed like the right thing to do. And like, I wasn't as eloquent and easy flowing. Certainly when I'm nervous, uh, as I am now. I'm like effortless when I'm nervous. But back then I was like, and so I was really glad that this senior kind of recognized that I like didn't know what I was doing, and he was like, "Okay, well, have a good night." And I was like, "Okay." Then I was walking back to the room. I was like, "Okay, that was really scary. That was a lot scarier than I thought it was going to be," and I felt like I like failed the mission. And I was like, "Shit, Sheebs, this is going to be maybe a little harder than you thought it was to align your words with your actions in this particular case." But hey, I was glad that like I had these like weird experiences that at the time I was like, what the heck? What, like, why are you doing this? Why are these things not working out? Oh wait, wasn't I on Crystal Ball? um why, like, she was like, why are things not working out? What's going on? Anyway, final thoughts. How would Sheba, 13-year-old Sheba, have assessed 35-year-old Sheba, current Sheba? Uh, she'd be really fucking proud. She'd be really relieved. A lot of more things would make sense. A lot of things that like, you know, over the years, I like in the moment I'll have done a thing and be like, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I share that, divulge that information in whatever way I did that like people laughed, or it was just like ridiculed, and I was like, why did I do that? Oh God, why would why would you do that, Sheebs? And now with hindsight, I'm like, okay, great, Sheebs, it's because you're supposed to be a comedian one day. You're a storyteller, and so you just gotta collect a bunch of stories, and that's gonna look like you're gonna sometimes do things, and it's gonna seem like the best thing to do in the moment, and then you're gonna be like, oh, that did not work out how I thought it was. But you're not gonna die. You're not gonna get into any like real danger. You're gonna learn a lot of resources about yourself. Your style is gonna be on point. I was really excited to like wear like sexy clothes when I was like an adult, and I did. With the minute I got some money and a little bit of like acceptance of like what I like, my tastes, I bought a jersey dress. You've seen me wear it many times, like a New York one and a Philly one. I always thought that was the coolest fashion. I loved in like Bend It Like Beckham. I loved like what Keira Knightley would wear and stuff. I loved, a girl with the Spice Girls and stuff. So I was like always about like being sexy and weird and unique. It was just great. And so it's been really cool, like, to a lot of my time growing up, I've mentioned several times today, like, I just had this insecurity that I wasn't enough. Not like cool enough, not interesting enough, not smart enough, not athletic enough, not like attractive enough. Um, and so it made me like want to do things to try to align myself with that reality. Like, so I was like, I'm not interesting, so let me find a lot of interesting facts and stuff. Let me synthesize interesting information so I could at least kind of perform being interesting. And like, I'm maybe not the best athlete, but like I have a lot of stamina and I try a lot. I found I was kind of the class clown a lot of times. And oh yeah, I was always getting like detentions and stuff for like dress code violations. I would, when I was in high school, like you were not supposed to wear like colored socks. Like, I was like, how are you supposed to show your fucking individuality? So like I would wear, different colored socks and things. And I would wear these, those Birkenstock clogs. I went to Walmart or Target, and they had these like knockoff Birkenstock slides that I wore, which were against regulation. We had to have like a back to the shoe. So dumb. Um, my skirt, like in high school, it was in eighth grade, it was like a plaid blue skirt. And then in high school, it was this khaki skirt. I was just like, oh God, this does not do great on my curves, my budding figure. So I would just like hike my skirt up. I was like adorable. I was so cute. Um, I was, I started in high school. You were like kind of, I don't even know if you were allowed to wear makeup, but I certainly started wearing makeup because I was like, I had really bad acne and I was like slathering it on, and like I, you know, definitely was someone who like I was wearing makeup that was like 2 shades too light. I loved blue eyeshadow, you know, inspired by Christina Aguilera and uh, prostitutes, 90s prostitutes everywhere. I was just like, hell yes, I love that. So I would have like blue eyeshadow on me, bright red lips, like yellow foundation, and I think, was it my sophomore year or something, I got like green contacts, or I got like this amber contacts. I was just like, I was just like aware that like I was not enough on my own. Like on my own, I had acne and weird hair and just regular degular black girl features that did not seem to be exciting anyone, either the white guys, the Filipino guys, or the black guys. I was just like, damn it, what am I doing wrong? So, and also there was like this one black guy at my school who had said like once, he was like, my mom said that like women who wear makeup don't love themselves, and like that was like an excuse why he wouldn't, you know, date someone with a lot of makeup. And so, as obviously I felt personally affronted, personally attacked, and it was just like, yeah, of course I don't feel loved. I'm ugly. So like, yeah, I'm wearing makeup because I want to like look pretty, and I hope to be able to like, you know, be like, hey, I might not be like super hot under this makeup, but I'm like, my personality, top 10, you know, unbeatable. I'm very like fun to be around, like very, I make everything better. So anyway, so I'm glad that after high school, I was able to be like, oh, okay, actually, I can kind of, I don't have to try that hard. And like, who's for me is going to be for me. And so I think by the time I was like certainly a sophomore in college, I was more like, you know, you gonna get this. And now it's great. So anyway, 13-year-old Sheba would be very happy to see that my acne cleared up, that like I got comfortable in my body, that I have this like really hot, sexy boyfriend slash husband, and that I like have a lot of money. I have like a prestigious job that like I don't have to try that hard to do, you know. I'm stylish and I'm like free. It's so great. I feel very like independent and capable, and it's just like really nice. It's really great. Great job. 13-year-old Sheba will be so happy with me. And I am so happy with 13-year-old Sheba. She like had to deal with a lot of things that every version of us since has like cringed at, and I'm like sorry that she had to kind of take the L's on those, so that 35-year-old Sheba doesn't. And yeah, so it's been really fun to just keep like being inspired by 13-year-old Sheba and past versions of myself, and being like, you know, who would I have wanted to be? Fun. Loved Y2K. Crazy couple of years, though, you know, really formative. But yeah, so interesting now. Look at this. Look at this whole thing. Just well done, Sheeps. Let me make sure I brought up all the things. Okay, Superstar, yes. Mulan, yes. Oh, Practical Magic. Yeah, we'll talk. We'll do a whole episode on Practical Magic, I think. You Make Me Wanna. Oh yeah, so that song it came out in 2001. Now that one, I remember was also one that like I would masturbate to. We would like listen to the radio, me and Freddie, to go to sleep, and like Freddie would do it one night, I would do it the other nights. Freddie would usually choose the alternative music station, like rock and stuff, and I would choose like the R&B one. And like whenever You Make Me Wanna came on, that was like who I wanted to be. I was like, guys liked me as a friend, but like never chose me as like a girlfriend in like 8th and 9th grade. And kind of through law school. But at that time, especially, you know, I was like, oh, you make me want to leave the one I'm with, start a new relationship with you. This is what you do. I was like, great. Yeah, I would love that. Please. You know, before anything came between us, you were like my best friend. The one I used to call, run and talk to when me and my girl were having problems. That was totally me. And I was always like, whenever they would come to me, I was like, hey, you know, you and this person, like, seem to, like, not connect on a lot of stuff. And, like, look at us here, just talking, being best friends. Isn't that what we're supposed to do? But, you know. So, since it didn't happen in real life, I had beautiful refuge in music. So, it was nice to listen to that, masturbate, and imagine a day when someone might choose me, you know, really be serious about me. And who'd have thunk I'd nail it. Little old baby Sheebs. It's actually really interesting to see like people from my elementary and high school like interacting with me on Facebook and Instagram and stuff, and like they seem really happy for me. And so it's really cool. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for chilling with me. I lost my chapstick, so my lips might be a little crazy, though Billy told me I don't have to give you guys a close-up, but let's see. Yeah, so thank you for joining me on this, what do you call it? 13 going on 35. Let's see. This one is the I Am Fierce. Yes. Man, 13 was so interesting. I didn't really know about gay people. That was like not a thing. We had learned that like you're not supposed to say, like call someone gay. It was like a slur, bad thing. It was like calling them stupid. And I didn't know about gay people yet. So I was like, huh. But anyway. If you would, could you bring your forehead, put it up against your screen, or whatever device that you're listening to me on, and just bring your head up really quick. Love you. Everything's made up. You've been an amazing audience. Thank you for listening to me. See you tomorrow for How Bailey Sees It. It's gonna be a good one. Always good. And like, yeah, see you on Friday for episode 2 of Black Bunny Hole. I'm thinking I might do Miss Queen Bee, Miss Beyonce, who, you know, we grew up together a little bit. So, yeah, anyway, thanks everyone. This has been so lovely. Everything is made up. Hope you have a great week. And yeah, just keep it in mind. Everything's made up. Everything's going to be good. All right? Love you. See ya. Let's get this good ass song back. Bye.